knows nobody.
Jaylen Brown.
Your superstars have off games.
Follow us on social media at Celtics Talk Weekly.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into Celtics Postgame Live. I am your host, Rob Aitan. I am with my co-host here, Justin Lowe, and Seamus, a.k.a. Celtics Every Day. The Boston Celtics go into Philadelphia, and they absolutely run them out of town. Win by 45 points. The Celtics defeat the Sixers 135-87 on the road. Celtics pour in 25 three-pointers, which is the franchise record. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the two really to thank for that. Mostly Jaylen Brown. Brown finished with 29 points, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. Jason Tatum finished with 28 points, 4 from 8 from beyond the arc. However, Aaron Nesmith tagged along 3 on the bench. He had 18 points tonight. Very great game from Aaron Nesmith. And guess what? Sam Hauser, first game after getting called up, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 60%. Hauser plus 5 in his 12 minutes and 51 seconds of play. He finished with 9 points. Guys, Celtics win 9 in a row. They don't only, mind you, no James Harden. That's big, but 45 points. James Harden or not, when the Celtics beat a team that has an MVP candidate on them by 45 points. Come on now. This Celtics team is just playing at an extremely high level now.
Right, and I said this on the postgame show the other day. When Philly made that trade, they traded a lot, and I mean a lot of depth. It might only be like 2 roster guys, but Steph Curry was huge for them, and then backup center Andre Drummond was big for them as well, and they really missed those guys tonight, and it looked like they relied on Matisse Thybulle for shooting tonight, and that went absolutely horribly. And Danny Green didn't get it going. Tyrese Maxey hit a few shots, but didn't really get going. Obviously, Joel Embiid, I thought Al Horford played really well. We saw stints of Daniel Tice at times. I thought Tice looked okay. You could tell he hasn't been implemented into the offense yet. Hasn't been able to go over the plays, which is fine. You'll get used to that. But defensively, I think he had 3 or 4 blocks. I said this in the postgame show the other day. It's going to come down to if the Celtics bench shows up tonight, and they did, because I think the Celtics are deeper. I do. After that trade, I think they traded away Seth Curry, who's huge off that bench, and boy, did the Celtics ever run Philly out of the gym on TNT. I'm surprised TNT didn't pull the whole, technical difficulty stunt. We're going to have to give it back to the studio. I'm surprised they didn't do that.
Well, how about a real quick, Seamus? How about this stat for you guys? Derek White plus 41 on the night tonight.
Ridiculous. That's almost reaching the levels of best in NBA history. I believe the record holder was I can't pronounce his name. He's on the Grizzlies. Santi Aldama, I think is his name. Something of that nature. He holds plus 54, the best plus minus in NBA history. Derek White only 13 points away from that. And I have to put on the shades tonight because we are hot, brother. We are hot. 9 straight wins, and we come into Philadelphia and absolutely kick their ass. And I know every school or middle school or whatever level of basketball, AAU, you all have a rival, right? At one point or another, you face a rival. And one time in high school, when I was playing basketball, we came and played against our rivals, and we didn't bring enough energy in the first half. And our coach brought us into halftime and just absolutely chewed us out. And from that point forward, I realized, damn, rivalry games are just different, right? They're just different at every single level. They're just different. They just hit differently. You have to bring a different level of energy. And tonight, after getting blown out by the Sixers a month ago in the same building, the Celtics come into Philadelphia and absolutely whoop the 76ers, and they do it by playing physical and hitting shots. And tonight, the 76ers could not get anything going from the floor because of how physical the Celtics were, both on the perimeter, contesting shots, and especially around the rim. Without the Celtics contesting shots around the rim at the rate they did, I don't know if we see the same result. Obviously, we shot we made 25 threes tonight, and that has a lot to do with this performance and the margin of victory. But it started on the defensive end of the floor for the Celtics tonight, and it just carried over offensively. Jaylen Brown, super, super confident, 26-point first half, didn't really have to do anything in the second half at all. Jason Tatum, just a spectacular game from him as well. And the rest of the team, a lot of guys were hitting shots. Horford got going there in the third quarter a little bit, added on. Grant Williams hit a couple of huge shots. He was 4 of 5 from 3. Daniel Tice, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from the floor. And like Justin mentioned, too, he's not even into the offense yet. And again, too, Marcus Smart, he wasn't there the entire second half either. Yeah. And to come out this way, the Celtics to come out this way after what happened last month and what has happened with this team, this is a huge win, because we talked about the other day. You win this game, or a legit win tonight against the Sixers, despite them not having James Harden. Tonight you have a legit win. You go and face the Pistons tomorrow night. If you can bring that one out, bring that one home, 10 straight wins going into All-Star break, and then we'll see where it goes from there. This has been the perfect stretch for the Celtics and how it's laid out during the season. And this win tonight, I mean, it just set up for miles and miles of success into the future. It almost reminds me, I don't want to go back to this season because we actually faltered at the end of the season, but 2018-19, that team was getting on a run in February, late March. We beat the Sixers in Philadelphia without Kyrie, came home and beat the Pistons before All-Star break, and that team was rolling at the time. Unfortunately, didn't follow it up very well, but this team, that stretch back then is almost reminding me of this stretch now, where this team is just hitting a different level, and you could see it on a nightly basis. And tonight, hopefully this wasn't the peak, but up to this point it has been the peak because of the rivalry game and the way that we beat them, just demoralizing them wire to wire. They never led at any point, never had any hope, and that is exactly the type of win I want to see every single time we play the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, I mean, it was best win of the season, I'd say. I mean, a Philly team, they don't have their normal Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2 players, but hey, Boston played without Robert Williams, Marcus Smart not in the second half. So it goes both ways. Obviously, James Harden would help that. However, Harden hasn't been on the floor all season, so no excuses from Philly there. Boston comes in, I said 45 earlier, my apologies, 48. I mean, that's a hell of a win. And, a little standings update, everyone. I mean, we got the Detroit Pistons, right? Not, mind you, let's not count any of these solid wins, right? Because you never know. It's the NBA. Any given night in the NBA, you never know who's hot and who's not. However, we have Detroit back at home, assuming probably no Marcus Smart, maybe no Robert Williams. Maybe they give him the break. However, game against Detroit, hopefully, you come in, you finish that one by the first half. And then you get Brooklyn at home to start off
what kind of Brooklyn, too?
Season. What kind of Brooklyn? I'd assume Ben Simmons, if he's not coming back for that game, then he's soon. Kyrie Irving, doesn't matter how he's feeling. He can't play. It's home. No Kevin Durant for sure, if you had to guess. Then guess what? We got the Detroit Pistons again. And then guess what? We have the Indiana Pacers. So that's 4 very, very winnable games. And then guess what? We come home for a 3-game road trip. You ought to think Hawks, Grizzlies, Nets, 3 tough games. It's at home. You figure 2-1. So you're looking at the next 7 games. You should win at least 6 of them. Right. The Boston Celtics, who are 9 games over 500 on a 9-game winning streak, who are currently a game and a half out of 3rd place. Yeah. 3rd with a game against the Pistons. The Pistons twice, the Pacers, and the Nets without their big 3. I mean, the Boston Celtics have a shot to completely just blow this thing open and land that 3rd seed. Milwaukee and Philly, they're going at each other tomorrow night, I want to say, before the break, or if not tomorrow night, then Thursday night. So tomorrow night, right? Thursday. Night. Yep. Yeah, they go. So if Milwaukee wins, guess what? That 5 seed, that's ours if we beat Detroit.
Now, what happens if, say this now, because the season series is tied. Like, this was a huge win like especially for season series wise too. You always want to pay attention to season series with tiebreakers when the standings are this close. What does this mean if Philly and Boston would become a virtual tie? Would it be who has the better division record, who has the better conference record? What would it necessarily be?
I want to say it goes to who has the better division record and then win percentage against the Eastern Conference.
Wait. Rephrase that question again, Justin. If we're in a tiebreaker with who?
Say we're tied. Say both like wins and losses we're tied. There's no virtual tie. We are tied with the Sixers, right? And we tie the season series to a piece. How do we determine the tiebreaker from there? Is it a better conference record? Is it a better division record?
I believe it's conference record.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be conference record, I would imagine, or it could be strength of schedule, possibly.
I saw a tweet from Keith Smith that explained it today, and I want to say it's conference record.
Yeah.
I feel like it's conference record, and then after that, it goes to like strength of schedule, or because there's a possibility we can both have the same conference record as well. But I thought of something earlier after tonight's win, and this already happened this season before tonight. But if you look at the standings right now in the NBA, if I can get to them, the Celtics have beaten every team in the Eastern Conference this year, I believe.
Yeah.
Every single team. So we've beaten the Heat, twice? We've beaten the Bulls. Granted, they weren't all the way healthy.
They were kind of on their last leg on that game.
Right. We would like to see them healthy, or at least another time this season. Cleveland, we beat earlier this season, or we beaten twice. Milwaukee, we beaten twice. Philadelphia, we beaten twice. Toronto, I believe we have beaten twice. Brooklyn, we've beaten once. Granted, they were not very healthy either. Charlotte, we've beaten
twice.
Yes, because we had that second win at home. That's right. Atlanta, we've beaten once. Washington.
I don't think we've beaten Washington.
No, we're 0-2. No,
okay, we're going to win against Washington.
Tatum had that
1 and 2.
Game.
Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah.
Okay, so we have beaten Washington. New York, we've beaten. Indiana, we've beaten. Orlando and Detroit. I keep saying on all my lives in every single show I go on, the Celtics aren't contenders this year, or they're not supposed to win the title, but
are they?
I mean, is it out of the realm of possibilities that we can make a run? I mean, look at the other teams in front of us. I would say that, tonight's performance was a little bit of an anomaly. The fact that we made 25 3-pointers, we know that this team still lacks shooting overall, but 9 straight wins. They've looked really, really damn good defensively this whole season. They're starting to turn it up offensively now. Their team makes more sense with Derek White and Daniel Tice. I also want to mention, too, if Daniel Tice, we don't trade for him last Thursday, you know who's playing tonight? Ennis Freedom. He's playing a lot of minutes tonight. That's a huge difference going from Ennis Freedom to Daniel Tice. We have this rotation going. It's not impossible that the Celtics make a run. I still think Phoenix is the title favorite for sure.
No question.
Golden State are the top 2 teams, no doubt in my mind. And we'll see what Milwaukee does and Brooklyn and Philadelphia when they get to full strength. But the Celtics, why not us? Why not us? Look at all these other teams.
It's funny we're saying that now. It's funny we're saying that. That's insane.
Since Friday, January or December 31st was the Phoenix win we had at home without Jason Tatum. And we blew them out. The Celtics have gone 20-5. And so in 25 game sample size, which is a fourth of the season, the Celtics have played at a 15 game above 500 pace, which I want to say 20-5 it was right around a 60-win team pace. However, within those games, we have seen some slip-ups with a loss to San Antonio. Mind you, no, Tatum did play that game. A blown lead against the Knicks. We got blown out in Philly once. We kind of got manhandled by Atlanta. That happens on the road. Lost to Charlotte. No Robert Williams. No Marcus Smart. And we just kind of let Portland hang around for too long in that West Coast kind of matchup. So, I think we're playing a very clean, very strong style of basketball. I still, there's 2 teams in the East that kind of scare me, being the Heat and the Chicago. I think the fact that people are overlooking Chicago has held that 2 seed, and they have been kind of hobbled on one leg. No Lonzo, no Caruso. Levine's kind of dealing with that knee soreness. I don't want to hope injury upon anyone, but if he goes out, that in the back of the mind for Celtics fans. So I wouldn't say we're much better. I can't say confidently yet than those teams. I think we're at the same tier as them. I think we're right there. I want to say. I mean, our offense, we got two flamethrowers in Brown and Tatum. Our defense, I mean, you guys see the defensive player of the year a race. I want to say Robert Williams was fourth in that, the updated version. So I mean, we got a guy that is playing at a crazy good defensive level. I mean, shit. You guys are right. I mean, it's been a tale of two seasons. The 2021 was not a good year for the Celtics, but ever since the 2022 started, shit, we've been pretty. I mean, how about this? We're almost 500 on the road. We were like 8 games under 500 at one point. I mean, we've just turned around, and I mean, God,
it's my. I don't want to bring this term up, but it's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
it is mind-boggling.
I mean,
it genuinely is.
This is I call me crazy. This might be the best Celtics basketball we've seen since the 2018 playoff run. I think it's been. I mean, on a stance of. I mean, maybe the bubble. We were playing some solid bubble basketball. Yeah. However, the bubble was weird because the Celtics really were still. They showed glimpses of inconsistency there as well.
But even then, that's almost 2 years ago. You know what I mean? That's like, it's been a while. You're right. Like, it's been a solid at least year and a half to 2 years since we've been able to see the Celtics consistently string together wins. I mean, last year we saw a 6-game win streak, but we faintly remember it. The wins we are just scraping by. I mean, this was I think our second or third time this season where the Celtics have led by 50 or more points in a game. I mean, they absolutely torched the Philadelphia 76ers as Ian joins us.
Ian's giddy.
Let me hear it, Ian.
Sorry, I'm late. I had to fulfill a bit I made on my live stream. I said if the Celtics beat the Sixers by 40, I would do the gritty in my video. And they won by 48. They won by 48. I had to do it. I'm a man of my word. So yeah, so that's why I was late. But
is this recorded somewhere?
Yeah,
it's on TikTok. It's on Instagram. Oh, I mean, I was a man of my word. I'm telling you. I had to fulfill it. You guys can watch me fail at attempting to do anything.
Don't tell.
Honestly, I don't think I did a bad job. Honestly, I tried so hard. It was so bad trying to get it into.
How many takes did it take?
It took at least like 10. I swear to God, it took me so long to try to do it.
I got it.
That was the best.
Let me see that. I gotta see this, Ian.
I have it. I have it.
Hey, there it is.
Here we go. It's at the end.
Look,
it's
yes,
at the
sir.
End. I had to.
Yeah.
That was good. That was pretty good.
I mean,
that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Looking like Mac Jones over there.
I mean, where do you think I learned it from? So I mean, I don't know.
Mac Jones.
But yeah. So I'm assuming you guys have talked about how the Celtics just absolutely demolished the 76ers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were actually just talking about Ian. Is this? Do you want to say this is the best Celtics basketball we've seen since that little playoff run we had back in 2018?
Oh, for sure. This has to be the best Celtics basketball we've seen since then. I wouldn't even count the bubble, to be honest. They played those first 6 games. Because I was talking about it too. Those first 6 games in the bubble, like they were a different team. Yeah, but this is probably the most entertaining Celtics basketball I've seen in a long time. And this was the first game since like maybe the Trailblazers game where we absolutely destroyed them offensively. Not only was our defense insane, like this is the 9th time we've held a team under 90 points this season. Yeah. That's the most in the NBA. Our offense went insane. We hit 25 threes in this game.
All right.
When was
real
the
quick.
last time we've done that?
Never. It's a franchise record.
So I got two things actually to say. One on the shooting of tonight. Phenomenal shooting, right? Like I said. However, it goes to my point. Celtics inconsistent. Just 2 games ago, they were shooting they went, I believe, 28% from beyond the arc against Denver. Fast forward 2 games, they set a franchise record. Don't get me wrong, it's great. Love seeing the Celtics knock down threes. Sam Hauser playing more minutes, but you want to look for a little bit more consistency. Now, my second thing here, I don't know how credible this source. I mean, they're verified on Instagram, so you never know. It's a data-driven news and analyst source called 538. I don't know how their analytics work. However, the Boston Celtics have the highest win the finals percentage in the NBA. I don't know. I'm just reading it, but I don't know what. Maybe it's just because the Celtics are hot right now. But like I said, take it with a grain of salt. However, you were to tell me that a month and a half ago, I'd call you crazy. So their percentage to make the playoffs is 99. Their projected final record is 50-32.
Whoa.
Their make the finals percentage is 34, and the win the finals 21%. Like I said, my expectation isn't to win the finals. My expectation really isn't to make the finals. However, we're playing good basketball, and I'd love to see us go on a run. I think we can go on a run, and you never know. If we keep this defense up, you don't know how far it could get you. So that's something to think about.
Oh man,
Can we read this?
Making 27 million to beat the team that signed them.
Bro,
Dude, NBC Sports Boston is so undefeated with this. They were like the first network to realize, hey, we could just put whatever we want on that graphic, whatever we want, and it's gold every single time. Every single time. Shout out Max Letterman, by the way.
I was just gonna say Max Letterman is really clever with those.
He's a Sixers fan too. He's living both worlds tonight. He's like, great, Celtics won. Sixers got beat by 50. He has no idea what to think.
I can't believe it. Like 50. Like we kind of, maybe not expected, but we kind of had a feeling like, okay, Celtics are rolling, go in here, beat Philly, right? But beat them by 40, beat them by 50 on their home court. Really?
I'm not gonna lie. I had a conversation with my friend before the game started. When I was at the gym and I heard the Celtics or Robert Williams was out, and I was like, "Oh, I don't like my chances." I was like, "I don't like the chances tonight." I'm not gonna lie. Philly, we haven't beaten them past 6 games in Philly. Yeah. We're on the road.
But and at the time, Marcus Smart was questionable as well, and I even was like, I didn't think I wasn't sitting here saying, "Oh, we're gonna lose," but like I was definitely my confidence level definitely shrunk when I saw that Robert Williams and Marcus Smart weren't gonna play tonight, and we saw 12 minutes of Marcus Smart, unfortunately. But Rob, we were talking about it earlier, kind of like the perfect time to get injured, right? I mean, never is a good time to get injured, obviously, but like. To go down with an ankle sprain, it could have been a lot worse than it was. Celtics now, tomorrow, Marcus Smart shouldn't have to play a lot of minutes tomorrow anyway, if we're being realistic. Second night of a back-to-back on top of that, it's against the Pistons. You should be able to finish that in 3 quarters. You really should. And then you get 8 days off. And, I think that's hopefully Marcus Smart takes all those 8 to 10 days and really, really rests that ankle because we need him. We really need him down the stretch of the season, no matter how easy or hard our schedule gets. We're going to need Marcus Smart.
Yeah. That Marcus Smart injury, hopefully it's not something that lasts for weeks at a time. We've seen guys with ankle sprains before go out for a month and a half before. If this turns into that kind of injury, that's pretty concerning moving forward because Marcus Smart is such a catalyst of what the Celtics bring defensively. And tonight, I mean, the game was pretty much decided at the point in which he went out. So that was a positive for the Celtics at least. But moving forward, you're going to need Marcus Smart on the court for you. And hopefully it's only he needs all-star break to rest, and it's something that he can come back from in 1 to 2 weeks, if that is the case. But Otherwise, yeah, that's kind of concerning for the Celtics if they don't have Marcus Smart in the lineup, because we've seen this so many times. When they're not healthy, they're not exactly the same team. A little bit more optimistic from him missing, just because we have Derek White now instead of Dennis Schroeder there. In that spot, you probably have a little bit more faith in Derek White to take over that position with Smart gone. But, this is going to be a tough stretch if Marcus Smart is out for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I mean, I was
we are
actually just
rolling.
about to say that, Seamus, before you said it. If we didn't have Derek White, I would be so much less confident in the Celtics since
Right.
Marcus Smart got hurt. And don't get me wrong, Dennis Schroeder's a good player. He's a great player. He's not even close to what Derek White can do. Derek White, he was a plus 41 in this game.
It's just the fit. He fits so well.
And he had 11 points, and he had 1 assist and 1 rebound, and he was a plus 41. That's insane. I am so happy he's a part of this team, man. And honestly, I don't really know if you can have a better Marcus Smart replacement than Derek White. They're almost the same player, basically.
They're going to be in the weight room tonight, right?
One thing
hey, Grant better lift tonight. He didn't lift last time, so he better.
Yeah,
lift.
but he had one hell of a game today, though.
They got to hop on a
he
flight.
did.
They got to have to lift on the flight. They got to flight back to Boston.
Oh, they got a gym on the flight.
Oh yeah,
That's what's
I'm
going to
going
save
tomorrow,
him.
So.
Well,
Grant was saving his arms for tonight. He was 4 or 5. He was saving his arms.
I was gonna say I made the
shots.
joke. I made the joke when it beat dunked on him. I'm like, see, Grant, that's what happens when you don't lift. You get.
Oh, we weren't gonna bring that up.
Yeah, that
we
was
weren't
the
gonna bring
problem.
up that.
Well,
I
I
had
have a
to.
question.
I
I
had
have a
to.
question. So, this is the first game we've seen Aaron Nesmith in the lineup, and he gave us 18 off the bench. Obviously, that's not the expectation. But maybe could you think now that Langford's kind of out in that slot, Richardson's gone? That's big. People don't realize that. Now that Richardson's gone, that backup 3 spots kind of for grabs. Could you maybe see Aaron Nesmith? Not the expectation isn't 18 points a game, right? That's not the expectations. However, he went 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, shot with some confidence, had a couple good drives, played some solid defense. I mean, plus 24 in 23 minutes. That's a hell of a game. So, maybe you see Aaron Nesmith, you see the growth there potentially, right?
Yeah, but I feel like we've said this so many times before, and then Ime goes back to benching him. But this is a real opportunity, and I think tomorrow is another great opportunity, right? A game before the All-Star break. You're probably going to be short Smart. You're probably going to be short Robert Williams once again. Again, a game that should be decided within 3 quarters. It should be. Will it? Probably. It might not. But another huge chance, like you said, Rob, for Aaron Nesmith to really grab that 3 spot.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
mean, and I think the thing I remember I kept saying it before the trade deadline and with the team we had coming into this year. I said, I mean, there's not really a spot open for him because of Langford and because of Richardson, and obviously Richardson taking that backup Brown Tatum spot. And kind of Grant slides in there occasionally with the lineups, and it's just really tough to get Aaron Nesmith in there. But now, I mean, the Celtics are looking for a guy to come in there and do what Nesmith did today. And obviously, Nesmith usually answers pretty well to the call, usually always comes in there, gives you hustle, gives you grit. The one thing that's been holding Nesmith back is just his consistent shot making ability. So you'd like to see that get up. But if even it can get to, 80. I feel like it's at 50%, right? He's inconsistent. If he can get up to 80%, give us right around some eight or so points a game after the second half of the year. That'd be, huge for the Celtics.
Yeah, and that's why they drafted Nesmith, was to be our shooter off the bench, really. And I'm wishing all the best for Aaron Nesmith. If you don't remember, in the beginning of the year, I had the whiteboard and I wrote free Aaron Nesmith on there because he didn't play for the first month of the season. And then they finally brought him in. He played well, and then he got benched again because he couldn't stay consistent. But I honestly hope Aaron Nesmith can thrive right now because, Romeo Langford, it was a logjam. So Langford really Nesmith didn't have a chance really to play that much with Langford, with Richardson. So now that they're both gone, if I'm Nesmith, I am absolutely ecstatic with this opportunity because I mean, if we have a bench lineup of, let's just say it's Derek White, Daniel Tice, who, by the way, played an amazing game tonight. You're welcome, Seamus and Justin. So and having Aaron Nesmith, that would be a crazy bench unit for the Celtics.
Wait, who played good tonight?
Shut up, Justin. You heard me say it once. I put him in the video just because I knew he played a good game. There you go.
Wait, Tice?
Wait, who's
Daniel Tice?
Yeah, wait,
Vanilla
who's him?
Tice.
Who's him?
Vanilla Tice.
You gotta clarify who him is.
Well, I mean, the more I think about it, Tice as your third string big is kind of really good. I mean, obviously, it's not like I said, Dennis Schroeder deal wasn't ideal. However, I mean, hell, Daniel Tice comes in, give you 9. I mean, he gave you 9 rebounds tonight, 5 points, only took 2 shots, perfect from the floor. I thought he played solid defense when he had 4 blocks. So, I mean, no, there's nothing to. I mean, the one thing I think I could complain about this Celtics team is their inconsistent shooting. However, I have a season full of complaining. It's just I'm not going to complain because damn, I mean, this is like I said, we're winning games and we're winning in blowout fashion. I mean, let's look at the game log real quick, right? Let's pull it up. So
it's beautiful.
Our two closest games. Our closest game was Denver at home. We won by 6. Other than that, we have won by double digits in almost Detroit, because the bench, we put the bench in Detroit. We were up by 26. We put the bench in. We only won by 9. Other than that, we have just been blowing teams out.
Wait, we didn't win by 10 that game?
No, we won.
That's
we won
pretty
by
ridiculous
9,
to think about. But that game was not even close. Not even close.
No, so to put it into perspective, how bad the second unit played. Bruno Fernando, who played 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Had a minus 15 plus minus. Whew. In 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Nesmith minus 13 in 4 minutes. Pritchard minus 13 in 4 minutes. So it was pretty rough for that group. But you know,
Tice would never.
All that matters is the win. But yeah, I mean, we're back at it tomorrow night, guys.
And this team might not even be complete yet. There's still a buyout market out there that's yet to develop. If there are out there, Gary Harris, Eric Gordon. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here a little bit, but guys, if the Celtics go out and added another shooter on the buyout market or just another body that can come in and defend and give them actual goods, that's going to help in the long run as well, especially heading now into the playoffs where, like I said, 538, 99% chance that we make the playoffs all of a sudden. We were down at that 10th seed for most of the season, just sitting down there, chilling down there with the Hawks and Knicks. And it looked like, yep, we're just going to be playing for our lives here at the end of the season. Nope, it looks like we are probably going to be in the thick of the playoff race. And now we can actually make a run. If we had another body, that's going to do a lot of diligence moving forward. And also on the Tice point too, I said this on the trade deadline special. One of the priorities for the Celtics moving into the trade deadline was upgrading that third string center spot as well over his freedom if you could potentially on the trade market. They did. They went out and got Daniel Tice. They offloaded and they essentially got rid of Schroeder, replaced him with Derek White. You essentially replaced Schroeder and Richardson's minutes with Derek White there, and you in his freedom to Daniel Tice in an occurrence like this when Robert Williams misses a game. You don't have to play in his freedom 20 minutes, 25 minutes against Joel Embiid. You can go out there, slot in Daniel Tice, and this actually worked out perfectly again for the Celtics tonight because you didn't have to play Daniel Tice that often because the game was pretty much over by the second half, and that slotted out really well for Tice, who had a 15 to 20 minute restriction tonight. I don't know the exact number he played. 19-6 tonight for Tice is the exact number of minutes he played, and that worked out perfectly for the Celtics, and I'm really excited too. This could be sure we know this with Tice. He could be on his way out because of the money he makes next year, or something could happen there. But for right now, this triple big thing we got going on here, where we have Tice, Horford, and Robert Williams, any three of those guys we can send to any of these lineups and be really, really offensively, that is going to be something to watch watch moving forward, especially when all three of those guys are healthy at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the Boston Celtics going back at it tomorrow night. Tip off at 7:30. We should have you covered post game. However, go follow us on Instagram to stay updated on if there is post game. If there's not, however, there should be a post game. Celtics looking to win 10 straight. Kind of a wild thought there right before the All-Star break. Pistons obviously bottom of the league. They're the losers of their last 8 games. They're 1-9 in the last 10. I believe Cade Cunningham, I believe, is questionable for tomorrow night's game. I'm not positive there. Celtics, like I said, game and a half back from that third spot with the game against Detroit in the coming up next. Guys, before we close out the show, last words, last thoughts on the Celtics win tonight in Philly.
I mean, it's the best words in basketball to hear. The Boston Celtics blow out the Philadelphia 76ers. It doesn't matter if they're good. Either team is good. Either team is bad. It's just amazing to hear the words, the Celtics destroyed the 76ers. And I'm going to the game tomorrow night, so I'm hoping the Celtics can win 10 in a row. I'm hoping
it should be a good atmosphere. So I mean, Celtics when you win 9 games in a row, the attendance is going to skyrocket.
Garden's going to be packed.
For sure. Garden's going to be packed. Yeah,
it was packed on Sunday. I went on Sunday. Yeah. It was packed for a game that started at 2 p.m.
Hey, and if you're at the Celtics game, right, buy some cheap tickets. This is a little self promo right here. VIP Beantown on Instagram, guys. You can use ticket upgrades. They're sponsoring us. They're great over there. Super cheap, $50. Yeah. They'll upgrade you to third row. You can do suite. DM them anytime after 6:30 if you're going to the game. Let them know we sent you. Let them know Rob, Celtics Talk Weekly, sent you. You get them cheap. Like I said, you buy a $10 ticket up in the nosebleeds. You upgrade for $50. You're sitting almost courtside for $60. Guys, it's a hell of a deal, and you gotta use it for next time you go to the Celtics game. However, like I said, we will see you guys tomorrow night for the Celtics and Pistons. Celtics looking to get 10 in a row right before the All-Star break. They're heating up. Go Celtics, guys.